Well, your overall thoughts on the game, Keith?
Difficult conditions, we played under difficult conditions, and it was more of a scrap and a fight. We would have wanted the conditions to suit us trying to play, but it became evident in the early stages of the game when we was passing the ball that it wasn't down to the pitch not being ready, it was down to the freezing conditions and the conditions getting worse on the pitch. You know, so the pitch was firming up, but it became obvious that it was just going to be a battle, and in games like that you want to make sure that you see it out with a clean sheet, and that's all important. But one mistake, you know, arguably has led to the goal, you know, and it's that one mistake that's cost the players, you know, for all the effort that they put in. It was an intense game, there was a lot of clearances, not an awful lot of football played, so we're disappointed not to draw the game and come out of it with a clean sheet. So really disappointed with that, because I think that's the least that we deserved and would have expected, because it was one of them games where you just got to get through it and all for a little bit of magic or an opportunity. But I feel as though that they probably turned us better than we turned them.
Yeah, as you say early on, you know, their keeper brought a couple of decent saves, didn't he, sort of thing, right? But that was very early on in the game.
He did, but I think it was on turnovers, the ball was very lively, you know, and we would have liked to have played through the full-backs, because to stretch the inverted wingers, but it was very lively, the pitch was lively, it was getting harder and harder and harder. And it's one of them games where, again, it's never going to be a spectacle, but you want to remember that game as being a valuable point, you know, but mistake, goal.
Is that another learning curve for the players? You know, sometimes in games, you know, no matter what it might be, you know, a point's a good point.
It would have been. There's a bit of a disappointment, but you know, if you look at the points per game that we're actually on, you know, it's very encouraging. There's going to be situations that you have to deal with, and it's not always going to be on your terms. So it's how you respond, it's your actions now, you know, for the remainder of the week going into Saturday's game. But we have to be better concentration-wise on in those type of circumstances and conditions. The clean sheet tonight it's at a premium. It's almost like a gold medal. It would have been like a gold medal award, you know, for just dealing with the battle, you know, trying to turn the opponents. They couldn't. Every time we tried to play the ball through midfield, you know, it was very, very difficult. And first touch, we want to try and play 1 and 2 touch, 3 touch football, passes, move the opposition about, but you're concentrating more on the ball coming into you than you are on the next pass, and it slows the game down. And I just think that the opposition used the clearances, the ball in behind our back four better than we did. Probably that's because we don't do it as much as we should do it. So on a night like tonight, it was frustrating for the players because they want to play football, but you've got to play the pitch, you've got to play the conditions, and you've got to play 46 games. And tonight, we probably beat ourselves without being disrespectful to the opponent, because we just didn't deal with the conditions, the game in isolation, to get at least a point.
You made the changes pretty early in the second half to try and change things around.
I don't think it was working in the first half. You know, I think we was reactive rather than proactive to the conditions, to the balls that were needing to go into, you know, James Vaughan. I think we were watching ourselves, you know, rather than being proactive in and around, you know, wherever the ball was. So I think it probably needed changing, you know. But again, I'm just looking at that game and thinking clean sheet, clean sheet, clean sheet. It's a valuable point, but we've ended up with nothing.
And difficult night for Crawford and Jolly to make their first appearances?
Difficult, but you know, difficult times to come in and make your debut when we've just won, what is it, 4 or 5 on the bounce in the league. No, I think it was a good opportunity for them. We had a training ground collision yesterday that's kept Liam Feeney out, but he'll be okay for Saturday, we're hopeful. But it was just a last minute occurrence yesterday in training, so we had to change it. But tonight it's an opportunity missed, but we've got, you know, 19 opportunities and we're in a great position. We've got to remember what we've done, how far we've travelled, and make sure that we you know, it's the game. The game itself in isolation, we shouldn't have lost. We should have played the conditions better.